Hey everybody, Coach Betsy here with Think Eat Win. And today I'm so thrilled to have Shelley with us. So Shelley is one of my most successful clients with Think Eat Win. She's such a great example of someone who takes the tools that she learned here and really applies them. And not only has she lost over 60 pounds since we started working together a little over a year ago, but she's feeling more calm and present and just enjoying her life so much more. So, Shelley, thank you so much for coming and being here and doing this with me today. If you would please just go ahead and tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and what you do.
I am retired. Thankfully, I am from Bryan, Texas, and got three grandkids, and they keep me busy.
Awesome. Love it so much. Okay, so let's go, let's rewind to like when you decided to, work with me and jump into the Think Eat Win program. I want you to tell us, what were you struggling with at that time?
Just overeating, bad patterns, lifelong bad patterns. Not understanding how to fix that. Just really struggling with grazing a lot and just slowly gaining 10 pounds, 12 pounds a year consistently.
Okay. And had you struggled with your weight for a little while before we started working together? How long had this been a challenge for you?
I've probably been an addictive emotional eater probably since seventh grade, but it didn't manifest itself until after my first child, 25, 26. Struggled with weight I'm 60 now. So I've struggled probably 30 to 60 with weight up and down.
So for 30 years, you
Yes.
struggled with your weight
Yeah.
up and down.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what how is this affecting other areas of your life? Like when you finally decided to reach out to me, like how is this really affecting your life?
Well, I started watching you on Instagram probably for a year, and I wished I would have called you sooner. But the things you were saying was what I needed to fix. And that's when I reached out finally. I always wanted a coach. I told my husband I wished I could find a coach that could fix me. I think I told you in the beginning you couldn't fix me, and many times. And I think you did fix me. I just used your tools, but I struggled with, of course, buying clothes, being the heaviest one in the room, having my clothes altered to make me feel more comfortable because nothing fit right. I'm very short. Just the normal stuff.
Yeah.
That
And tell me like how you were feeling about yourself most of the time because of this struggle.
just a failure, not worthy, confidence level. I couldn't get past a 3 in my confidence level with you, as you know. Just not feeling worthy to be here. My worth was all tied up in my eating. So I never felt like, as a human, I was, good enough because of my weight, which is untrue, you know.
Of course, but you were stuck there for a long time.
I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Okay. So how are you? I know you go to a lot of events and galas and fundraisers, those kinds of things with you and your husband do, right?
Yes.
And how did you usually feel when you were at these events before that you started to work with me?
I just wanted to disappear. I wanted to stay seated. I didn't really want to move about the room, as overweight people know. You don't want to be seen. I'm still very much like that, but I don't feel that way anymore. I can get up and move about the room. This year, I was a lot more confident, but I probably don't show that I'm more confident, but inside I'm more confident, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Well, and so recently you went to an event that you go to annually, right?
Yes,
Yes. Okay. And I love that you had pictures taken. You always have a picture taken at this event,
yes,
right?
yes,
So I want to show this picture. So this is Shelley on the right is was just taken a week ago,
yes,
right? So that's you now. And then on the left is you just 1 year ago at that same event.
that's right.
So tell me, how was Shelley in 2023? How was she feeling back then at that point?
Well, when it was very humid that day, so all my curl came out. So my hair flopped as soon as we got there. So that's the fluffy that you see. And then on top of that, I had to have that shirt altered to make it longer. And it didn't fit right. And I was uncomfortable. And then this year I had a dress that fit and it was long and I still like to cover, but felt much more confident this year. Last year, I did not want that picture taken. I don't like my picture taken. This year, I didn't really care one way or another at this event.
Well, the change is amazing.
Yes, it
And
is.
you definitely look more, you have a calm demeanor
I'm
in
very
that picture
calm.
on the right.
Yeah, I'm very,
Yes. Yeah. Well, that is amazing. I love that you were able to have very different experiences at these two different events 1 year apart.
yes, yes.
So, okay. So, why did you decide to finally reach out to me and jump into the Think Eat Win program?
I'm 60 years old and I haven't figured it out. And I just thought, however long I have left, I need to figure this out one way or another. And a lot of the posts I saw on Instagram, I'm not on Facebook, but I saw you on Instagram. I just thought, man, this lady gets me. She's saying all the things that I need to learn, and just that's why I reached out. Absolutely, is from your Instagram post.
So, why do you think you weren't able to figure all of that out to find what was missing or the cause of the eating and the tools to stop it? Why weren't you able to do that on your own?
I don't know. I think back before COVID, I mean, we never really had coaches back in the day. There wasn't anybody you could go to unless it was a weight loss doctor or Jenny Craig. I Weight Watchers. I mean, there was not a coach to figure out why you're doing this.
Yeah. So, has that ability to see why been what made a difference for you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, everything you taught me is the reason I'm here today, and I use those tools all the time. And you told me once, I have applied what I say to you 200,000 times. You have to practice it. And I practice it every single day.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love it.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's almost like you've changed your brain and,
Yes.
and what your automatic way of thinking is
Yes.
now different, isn't it?
Yes. Totally. My primitive brain, I know it's my primitive brain talking. And so I have to just tell it to be quiet.
Yeah.
You know,
You're the boss.
I'm the
Yeah,
boss.
you're the boss. I love that. So
Yeah.
tell me what it was like because with you, like fast results, like this 60 pounds didn't happen overnight and results were slow in coming for you at the
Very,
beginning. So
very.
tell me, like, how was that going through that process?
Well, I signed up for 12 weeks and then I felt like that wasn't enough. So then I signed up for what, 3 more months,
Yeah, well, I think it was 6 more because in
yes,
total, we
yes.
worked together, for 9 months.
Yeah, I really, because I felt like, that many years of being dysfunctional with food, I needed a view more. I needed just reassurance and I didn't want to lose what I learned in the 12 weeks. So that's why I signed up for a longer term. And, just so that I could feel secure. Sometimes I still feel like I need to call you, you
Yeah.
know, and reach out, and I do. And the
Yep.
struggles don't ever go away, but they become more repetitious. The practices become more repetitious.
Right. And
Yeah.
really through those last few months is when things started to click for you.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
able to finally tap into the mindset that really worked for you
Yeah.
and to really start changing the eating patterns that triggered the weight loss.
Yes.
So, what was that part like for you? Like changing the way that you ate and the grazing and the eating at night? Like, how did that feel going through it? Did it feel like you were on a diet?
No, no, I never felt like I was on a diet. I just listened to the cues, that you teach. If I've eaten, dinner, and I've eaten my protein and two fists of vegetables, I'm full. Um, One day you told me you actually can go several days without eating and not die. And so I just was like, no, you can make it till morning. You are fine. If I want something, I don't go get a bunch. And I always stop eating now, even on vacation when I'm at a 2.5. That's my cutoff. Between 1 and 5, I stop at a 2.5. I might get to a 3, but that's been the difference right there. It's
Yeah.
portion.
Right.
That's been the
Mm,
difference.
and you've learned those tools to stop yourself and to
That,
stop at a 2.5
that's
instead
right.
of just going back over and over and over, right?
Yes,
Right?
that's the difference.
Yeah.
That's really started losing because I was in the beginning, I was making myself wait till the next day, making myself resist, sort of white knuckling it. But then after a while, it's just like, no, you're not hungry.
Right.
You're
Well, you
not
were
hungry.
able to learn how to talk to yourself in
Yeah,
a loving and compassionate way
that's
rather than fighting and white knuckling and shaming yourself into it.
yes, yes. I
Yeah.
don't myself anymore.
Yeah, I love that. That's so good. I'm so glad that you touched on that because like a lot of people get stuck in that kind of that
Yeah,
diet mentality of you have to punish yourself because you're bad and you have to restrict and you have to take away all the things that you love because you won't be good enough until
right.
you lose the weight. And so, a lot of people get stuck with that roadblock. And
Yes.
so, how do you feel about that mentality? Like, is that how you're thinking about yourself, about your weight, and about food?
I just feel like it's not such a chore anymore. I had to calm myself around food. I think I told you early on, if I'm at a party, if I'm at a bridal shower or a baby shower, I'm in a frenzy inside. There's too much food. I have to choose. I want it all. I was never calm around food my entire life, ever. And now I am totally calm. Anything can be in front of me. And I am calm, and I make myself stay in a very calm state. That and the portion control, I think, has been the total reason 60 pounds have come off, because I'm calm around food. I don't have to have it all. I pick what I want, and I eat it.
Yeah. And that is like a skill that everybody wants
Yeah,
to.
that's the skill that I learned with you over and over and practicing it, and just remain calm, talk to myself through it internally, listen to my cues, um, stop eating when I'm full. I just never knew how to do any of it. And I wouldn't say it's simple, but it's a simple solution if you apply it. And I
Right.
guess I never knew how to do that.
Yeah. Well, and how does it feel now to have been able to make that shift and to be able
It's
to
li
change?
it's life changing. And, with anybody thinking, "Oh, I've gone so long without, doing anything about this," I'm definitely glad I made the leap. And I'm definitely glad I stayed. And sometimes I dreaded, bringing up my past, but it was absolutely necessary
Mm.
to get to where I am today. And like I said, I'm still applying what you taught me every day. And I text you and I keep in touch with you and just let you know. But I still sometimes feel like I'm eating a little bit out of control, but then I ground myself. I'm able to ground myself now
Yeah.
and not gain anything.
Yeah. That's amazing. I remember us talking a little bit about, when we first met about emotional eating and, stress and those kinds of things, and how you would usually find yourself kind of heading for the snacks when you
Yeah.
were stressed. And what was interesting was that you have gone through, like, since I met you, some really challenging, like some of the most stressful things that people go through. You
Yeah.
lost your mother in just the
Yes.
first few weeks that we started working
Yeah.
together. One
Yes.
of the most difficult things that people go through, you also were building a house and moving, which was a
Yes.
long drawn out process. Like so many things delayed it. And so you were not able to completely dedicate every minute of your life to this program. You were still living life. So
Right.
tell me, like, what do you think would have happened through those stressful times if you hadn't jumped into this program?
Well, I mean, I lost my mom early on after I signed up. That was very stressful. I think I was going through it when I started with you, and then she passed.
Yeah.
She was my best friend, but I still kept our meetings.
Mhm.
I didn't cancel the meetings because it was important that I not derail. I just started it. And then, building a house, that's stressful. It took 16 months. I mean, anything can derail you if you let it.
Mhm.
And it was just that important to me. No, you're not going to give up on yourself. Life is life, and you're always going to have an excuse to fall off the wagon, because I feel like eating is sort of like maybe somebody that drinks. You fall off the wagon over and over again, and then you become a lifetime on and off person. I was like that with food. And I just thought, no, this is important enough for me to stick with it. And then
Yeah.
I think after, the weight starts coming off, you see results, and you're not really doing anything but talking to yourself and listening to all these cues that you need. It's not a hard process.
Right. Yeah. The white knuckling is what's so hard and what
Yeah.
it's what doesn't work long
Yeah.
term. And so
And
you've
yeah.
learned the tools to do this from a place of, listening to your body and honoring it and being kind to it
Yes.
rather than just escaping.
Yes,
So,
even the grocery store is a lot easier than it used to be. I told you I always bought the candy for every occasion. I'd eat the bag, and I haven't bought like holiday candy in a year.
mm,
It's not in my house.
mm,
It doesn't align with my goals.
it doesn't align
So
with your goals.
once you get off all that bad sugar and just the bad carbs and stuff, you don't crave those anymore.
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't crave them.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's amazing. So, you know, this is kind of a weird out of left field question, but like, what would be going on for you right now if you hadn't finally decided, you know what? No more excuses. I'm making myself a priority and I'm doing this. I'm working with a coach and I'm conquering this. Like, what would be happening instead if you hadn't jumped into the Think Eat Win
It
program?
would have been the normal thing that I've been dealing with for 30 years. Always feeling, letting myself down, never feeling confident, not enjoying the moment. I mean, even now I have some body shaming, body dysmorphia. I think I'm bigger than I am. I think I'll always think that, but I am able to now put a cover up on and go outside and get in the pool. And, before I would not have done that. I would have stayed in my clothes and sat on the outside. And, I told you this morning, I have more wrinkles on my face now, but that's okay because, I am older now, but I would rather have my wrinkles than my mental state that I was in. I
Right.
would, yeah.
Right. Absolutely. That's so good. So would you say that, because this like working with me in the Think You Win program, like it requires a financial investment.
It
And,
does.
and so would you say that that was worth it for you?
Absolutely, because I've probably spent that and more on a multitude of things that never worked. I mean, I'd lose 10 pounds and then go back. It's absolutely worth the money because it fixes what's wrong, and that's your head.
Mm.
I could never figure out why, if I'm doing all these diets, well, my head wasn't fixed. And I told you, you can't fix me. You can't fix me. But it was my head. It was between my ears that I needed to fix the rest of my body. So no, I didn't really think twice about it. I was ready, and you have to be ready.
So
Yeah.
that belief that you couldn't be fixed,
Yes, I
you
absolutely.
still do you still feel that way?
No, I do not feel that way anymore. No, I told you that early on several times, and you go, "Well, let me try."
I believed in you,
You did.
and
You
you
did.
believed in you. I think you wanted to believe it,
I
and
did.
that was a belief that we had to remove for you, and
Yes.
that's what we were able to do,
Yes.
working one on one, and that's the power of having a one on one coach is someone
Yes.
to really see what is in your way the
Yeah, I
most.
think that changed it. It's just having the one-on-one, doing the homework. Um, it's not hard homework. You just need to do the process to figure out why you do what you do. You
Yeah,
know, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every week's lessons.
awesome. So, what would you say to somebody who was kind of on the fence about it? Like, whoa, this seems really different. I don't know if this is going to work for me. Plus, I've spent so much money. Like, maybe this is, just going to be another thing that I try and fail. Like, what would you say to somebody who's on the fence about
I
joining?
would just sort of like what I did, invest in yourself. It works. You really get to the core of why you do what you do. And I'm sure every person is different of why they do. Mine was from childhood. I've
Mhm.
always been an emotional eater. Some people may just like to eat. Mine wasn't really about the food. I just ate the food. It wasn't because I was hungry or I craved it. I was an emotional eater. I would say definitely 100% if you apply your tools, it works because, for 30 years, nothing worked for me. Yeah,
Mhm.
nothing.
Yeah.
I,
Well, I
I
appreciate you saying that
yeah.
because a lot of people are afraid of failing again, and it just keeps them stuck
Yeah.
for a long time.
Well,
So
I
you're
was afraid of failing again, but I'm just like, you know what? You always wanted a coach, hire a personal coach, one on one. And I liked it so much. That's why I signed up again. It's not really to sell, it's because it works. I would not be doing this if the tools you taught me, I apply them 300, I apply them 7 days a week.
yeah.
Yeah, they work.
What else has changed for you other than just weight loss from what you've learned?
My mental state, I don't beat myself up all the time. I don't feel worthless or like less than. I don't really think about that anymore when that used to consume me. I just used to always feel insecure. Uh, do I still feel insecure sometimes? Maybe, but not because of that,
Mm,
because of the weight. And I used to always gauge myself with everyone else in the room.
mm,
You're the third fattest person in the room.
mm.
There's only three other people heavier than you, and then there's you, and there's yet there's 200 people. I just used to just play those mind games with myself and just make me feel. And then I see other people that are so confident and overweight. And I'm like, why can't I be more like that? I just wasn't.
Hmm.
I wasn't that person.
Yeah. And now you are more like that person.
Yeah, I'm just like, I don't gauge myself. I'm just there. I'm present. I'm not always worried about, the person sitting in my body. I can just live now.
Just-
I
Yeah.
don't have a perfect body. I'm not, the perfect size. Things still don't fit me right. I have to try on about. It's okay because I'm more confident in myself now, and it's because of the program and the tools that I work at. It's not hard. You just have to keep applying them, or you'll get back. I can't let myself slide too much.
Yeah. Awesome. So, and you have like 3 grandkids, right? And you like spend a lot of time with them. How's your energy level, keeping up with them with a lighter body?
It's much better. My knees don't hurt as bad. I can get up off the floor pretty easy now. Just have to grab onto a couch to help me up because 60 pounds makes a difference on your joints.
Yeah.
I'm just lighter, being more active. I'm playing some pickleball now. It's fun. Just being more active and being more social. Just not staying in the house saying no thanks, oh, I'm good. No, we can't make it. I'm finding where I enjoy things. I really enjoy things that don't have food, but if they do have food, I just talk to myself before I go, and I'm calm when I get there. I think that's made the biggest difference.
Yeah. Well, and that calmness really comes across.
From
And
within, yes, it has to come from within, and
Mhm.
that's what I didn't recognize about myself before I,
Yeah.
I met you.
Yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love it so much. So, what would you say to another woman who's been watching my content, who's thinking, "Oh, this Betsy, she gets it. And she's saying all the things that I need to fix." What would you say about to her about like trying to do this on your own?
I'm not a fan of that because I listened to a lot of what you said, and I'm like, wow, yeah, that's me. I'm gonna listen to her. And I started following you and stuff, and I thought, I'm a little selfish. I wanted the one-on-one. I wanted that. I wanted to have that for myself. I wanted the one-on-one. And I signed up, and didn't think about it. Once I had my initial, I think I got a free consultation or whatever, that initial phone call or whatever. And I'm just like, I'm going to do it. I've been following her, and I'm gonna see what she can do.
Yeah.
Um, but I watched you before.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get it. You get it. I still follow you.
Good. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, you're an
yeah.
inspiration, and I really appreciate you being here, as such a shining example of
Thank you.
what's possible when
Yes.
you invest in yourself, you focus on making your life better and learning new things. You can learn new things at age 60, right? And
Yes.
then
Yeah.
just being willing to practice them every single day. That is the power of the tools
I
inside the
wish
Think
I
Eat
would
Win
have
program.
found you in my 40s.
Really?
Yeah, I wish, I have regrets about that, but I can't because I've already lived, you know, I've
Yeah.
already lived those years, not knowing, but it's okay because I found you, and I want to say I'm fixed but I'm fixed because I apply the tools
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, absolutely. So good. Well, thank you for again for being here, sharing your
You're
experience
well.
with us. Before we wrap up today, is there anything else that you want to add?
No, I'm happy now. I have a lot more happiness in my life. I don't feel a foreboding as I used to. I don't feel, depression. I think I had some depression because of my own mind, not because of the weight. It's what I thought about my weight. I'm lighter. That's the only thing, I would urge somebody that's maybe thinking about, it works. That's how I'll end it. It works.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for being an example of
You're welcome.
someone who works it. So, okay, Shelley, thanks again, and I will talk to you really soon. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.